tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
What's up, everybody? We are back for Black Hollywood Live's The Trend. I'm Derrial, Christon. Joining me is Courtney Stewart. Courtney, say what's up to everybody.
Hi guys. Hello.
We're getting used to these Zoom interviews, but we got a special guest today. Our man, Damon Williams, straight out of Chicago right now.
Woo, yeah. Woo. And straight in Chicago right now, too, because I ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Right.
None of us are.
They putting people on planes, but they leaving the middle seat open. That's some bullshit.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get up on that plane.
This is not social distance. This is not one seat over. It's not social distance. We've been having a side eye on planes for the last 3 to 5 years. My wife's been wearing masks and scarves every time we get on a plane because somebody can sneeze in the back, the air get recycled, it hit you in your face.
Oh, that's real.
That's the truth.
That's real.
The truth.
You know, it's funny,
I always
Damon.
wear a scarf.
I always have something on just to cover up and just, have my hand sanitizers and everything else on planes. And it's funny because today I even got like a little Google alert that was saying like American Airlines was offering flights for like $63. I was like, wow, $63.
Yeah.
Like
to China. You can go to China, Russia, Australia.
Africa.
$182 round trip to Australia.
It's like I want to buy the ticket.
I have my Facebook Live on. They don't know what I'm doing. Hey, Facebook people, I'm on the Afro Buzz right now doing an interview, so that's what y'all seeing. And so I can't respond, but now we gone. Right.
Tell them to tune in. Tell them to tune in at BlackHollywoodLive.com. They can check us out.
BlackHollywoodLive.com, and also we'll be able to replay it as well. Correct?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll send you the link to send all your fans.
We're gonna post all the links. So what's happening, people?
All right, so tell us about this Laugh Tonight, this new show you got that's on, UrbanFlix.com. Just premiered not too long ago.
Man, actually it hasn't even premiered yet because UrbanFlix is Black owned and we're a little late. To be honest,
keep it 100.
The network did launch May 1st, and it's a lot of original content. There's about 5 or 6 original series, a lot of films, and it's not just Black actually. So UrbanFlix, their tagline is redefining urban because it's a multicultural situation. But it couldn't be a better time than now to have more content to stream because everybody's burning through all their shows. In fact, I think I'm gonna start over Scarface, The Wire and The Sopranos this week because I've seen everything. I think I've reached the end of Netflix. But the show is
you to watch everything.
Seriously,
everything.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this show because it came about sort of as a whim. The show was actually pitched to have a host from one of the basketball wives. I won't say whom because it didn't work out. But it didn't work out because she has a skit that she does, and she didn't really want to do the skit on the show, and her schedule didn't work out, and it was being difficult for them to get it together. So they asked me. I was already a consultant on the show. It's like, well, do you think you want to do something? Do you have a show out there in mind? I said, yeah, let's do a stand-up comedy show like in the days of Def Jam and Comic View, but let's include the element of interviews. So I do a sit-down interview with each comedian, and after the interview is the intro to their set. So it's a really fun thing, and we have comedians from every walk of life. A lot of ladies, too. Like a lot of women in comedy. Yay. I'm an advocate for the women in comedy. The woman's voice is underserved in this community, and women are sort of seen as an asterisk in comedy. It'd be 5 guys and 1 woman.
Right.
So I have a lot of ladies on the show, including my girl Corey Bell. We got a young, new, up-and-coming comic, Jasmine, Precious Hall, who is on the commercial. She killing it. Just Niche and Corey Bell, who both are travel with Monique, and they're on her new special. And then I have a lady that was once a Playboy playmate.
What's her name?
Her name is Irina. She's Russian. Yeah, she's Russian, and I can't even pronounce her last name. But then my girl from Chicago, her name is Christon Toomey. So a bunch of women, but then you have Hispanic comics like my man Jose Raymond, who is he was once an illegal alien. His family migrated here illegally, but then when they got here, they landed in Compton. So he's like, "Mama, you ain't do your research? How the hell we end up in Compton?" Very unique story. Funny, man. And of course, a lot of my Chicago comics, I have 9 Chicago comedians. So it's a beautiful thing. Laugh Tonight with Damon Williams, and I think any day now it will be on the UrbanFlix .tv network because they running the commercial. The crazy part, they already running the commercial on TV1, so people are looking at the commercial, but they can't see the show yet. But they're editing. What happened? We finished the show late February, early February, late January. But the sound mixing is being redone because they want to. You can hear the comedians, but you couldn't hear the laughs. So that I think that was the last technical glitch that's holding up the show. But when it comes out, we have 6 episodes, 3 comedians per episode. So you got 24 or 18 people. We actually filmed 8. You got 18 people to laugh at, plus myself.
Well, whenever I can finally watch it, I will definitely be watching it because I'm all about comedy. It almost reminds me, you get your Byron Allen on, because it's Byron Allen had his night show that he brought on different comedians of different ethnicities, and he was crushing it, and he hosted it, and then they did the little stand-up. So I'm excited to see this and how your show plays into what we're doing currently and what's going on.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about those Byron Allen shows, he's still showing the original ones from like 07, 08. So everybody's shouting out their MySpace page, but we all went back. I promise you, everybody like, yeah, you can find me on MySpace, you know, my MySpace page here. But we went back in 2013, 2014 and filmed new shows, but I guess he's still making money off the old ones. Plus, Byron is smart. See, when a show runs multiple times, then the royalties that he pays out are less. So now I still get a royalty check from Comics Unleashed, but it's like $13, $12. You know, the new ones he has to give full pay for. I guess that's what he's waiting on.
He knows business.
He does.
He knows his business. I'm laughing. Well, Derrial, stop laughing.
No, he does. No. I love us. I love Black folks. I love us. I just love. I love us.
I love us.
I love us.
Well, Damon, can you tell us a little bit about how you found your way to comedy in Chicago or wherever it started for you?
Sure, I love to tell this story. Before doing stand-up, I used to own a Subway sandwich shop. I was the youngest and the first Black franchisee in the Midwest, and I opened a Subway in 1990. Okay.
Wow.
So this is pre-Jared. This is before any of that Jared stuff. So the franchise hadn't taken off nationally. But I was only there for 2 years. But during that course, I had met these guys, and they were talking about open mic at this club called All Jokes Aside. Now, a side note, I want you all to look up a documentary called Funny Business, a Black comedy. It's the documentary about All Jokes Aside. Funny is spelled with PH. Raymond Lambert and All Jokes Aside, this was the epicenter of comedy. This is where Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey got his big break in Chicago on radio for advertising for All Jokes Aside. That's what got him into radio. True story. Everybody came there. Chappelle, Chris Rock. Chris Rock worked on his special there, the one where he said about OJ, I ain't saying he should have killed her, but I understand. He worked that out at All Jokes Aside. So All Jokes was legendary in Chicago. All the Bulls, this is when the Bulls were champions, and they would come there, and the Bears and all that. It was crazy. So fast forward, I'm at Subway, it's not making money, and somebody had happened to talk about open mic on Wednesday night with some chick with the big lips that was the host. Turns out that's Adele Givens from HBO, Def Comedy Jam. So I went, I signed up, you know, it went well, and I never stopped doing comedy. I had already sold my store, so I had plenty of time and a little bit of money so I could pursue the stand-up game, and that's how I got into business.
And you've also done the whole circuit. I mean, you've been on the tours. You're currently working with Tom Joyner. You work with Cedric the Entertainer. And how has that kind of reflected like your overall just experience with comedy? Because, you know, those tours aren't easy and you always got to be on your game. So how has that kind of helped you and led you to where you're at today?
Well, as for Tom Joyner, Tom actually retired at the end of last year. So we started the year off without Tom doing radio. So that was very instrumental in keeping me relevant and reconnecting me with my fan base from the Comic View days back in the day. So shouts out to Tom Joyner, and God bless him in his life, because I love that brother. He's a mentor. He does everything for comedy. He loves comedians, and he did everything so much for HBCUs and education overall, raised $65 million for scholarships. Much love to Tom Joyner. As far as Cedric the Entertainer, Sid and I go way back to when Sid used to drive to All Jokes Aside in his Mustang from St. Louis, where he lived. And he would come even to the open mic night. On my Wednesday night, sometimes Sid would pop up. That led to me having a relationship with him and D.L. Hughley. The two of them recommended me to the promoter, Walter Latham, and I ended up being the opening act for the Kings of Comedy tour. So that's a full circle moment that you mentioned right there.
Wow.
But I do not only comedy tours, I do music tours. Urban Vibe Entertainment, they had me go out with like R&B singers like Joe and Genuine and Tank and the whole squad. We do those, all the Valentine's shows and things like that. So it's just a beautiful thing, man. The mixture between an old school or R&B audience and comedy is magic.
Why all of a sudden I just had Genuine's Pony playing in my head right now? It just popped in my head right now.
Well, that's better than having Tank's "When We" in your mind.
So amazing.
As you know, Tank said some controversial things recently, so we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, we gonna keep that with Tank. We're gonna keep that with Tank.
That's my brother, though. I got love for Tank. Tank, a good dude. Whenever we work, he's very genuine. He's very humble, and he's funny too. He always like to play the dozens on people. So shouts out to Tank. No matter what he said when he jumped out his body and said, "If a man go down on another man, that'll make him gay." I ain't in his business. Okay.
I mean, as far as comedy, I mean, we're a very interesting moment, of course, in life.
He brushed right over that.
Yeah, I had to. I'm not gonna mess with that.
Didn't even go.
I'm not gonna mess with that.
We're not gonna touch that.
I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. We
love you, Tank.
We've had Tank on our show. I'm not gonna mess with. No,
that's my brother. He got some jokes coming from that though. So what's your question, man? Before I mess my whole career up out here.
No, it's all good. I was like, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Tank may not come back to Black Hollywood Live if I start going in that question. That's
right. Or you might get a whole lot more followers.
Oh, that's true.
You know?
You're right about that. You're right.
It's not a stigma nowadays.
That is true. That's true.
Yes.
I mean, we're literally in an interesting moment right now. I mean, if we politically, just in the news, I mean, even just, what happened with Ahmaud Arbery, and I think comedy is something, especially right now with the lockdown, that we especially need. We really need to focus on some positivity and some things that just take our focus away of all the negativity that are surrounding and happening to Black people right now. How does that actually help you with building what you're going to use in your comedy sets, like what literally is happening in the news day to day?
Well, I do a feature with Sam Silk, WZAKCleveland.com. It's the radio, but it's broadcast radio. It's in the Radio 1 network. Every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's called Damon, What You Think? So I get a chance to expound upon current events and topics and things of that nature, even though there's no humor whatsoever in the Ahmaud situation, and the other young lady in Kentucky, Bree, who we just found out about, who was shot at home, 8 times in her home. She was an EMT worker, a first responder, and an essential worker. So, there's no humor in that, but we need, after, absorbing all of that information and being locked in these situations at home and, going through the situation and the scary thing and losing relatives and, so you got to have some type of release, and laughter is a medicine, it's a healing, it's therapeutic. Laughter and music right now, especially for us as a culture, will get us through this. And I think all comedians, I commend everybody who's trying to find a new way to reinvent themselves virtually so that we can still bring our crafts and our passion to the people, because it's needed now more than ever.
That's truth.
Yep.
100%. Well, who are you looking at that makes you laugh and keeps your spirits up during these times?
Let me tell you who are the funniest 2 people right now. I mean, it's a bunch of funny people, and I love them all. But right now, if you look at Affion Crockett and Godfrey, they do impressions with each other. So the other day they did Maya Angelou and Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, Lord.
That's gotta be good.
God. Amazing. Just the other day, Affion, I just love Affion Crockett because he's a dancer, he's a comic, he's a Renaissance dude, and I hope he sees this and let him know that I got mad respect for him. That brother did he did a spoof on the battle with Jill Scott and Erykah Badu.
Oh, Erykah Badu.
And he had on the joint like Erykah, but he was Eric Badu, and he was saying as Eric Badu, he wrote all the song, but he ain't getting no credit. Man, Affion Crockett is killing the internet right now. And so is Godfrey. Godfrey, my Chi-Town homie. Godfrey, comedian Godfrey. So watch those 2. Then just the other day, I think Kevin Hart and Afion did some type of thing where they were battling each other. So, but it's a lot of funny people out there. My girl Just Niche from Chicago, that's spelled N-E-S-H. She always has funny memes and just stupid statements every day. And I mentioned her earlier because she's one of my proteges and I love her, but she's just so talented and she's blowing her stuff up. But you know, just scan it. Everyday ordinary people are funny all day.
Yeah. And it's a lot of talent out there, especially in Chicago. There's been a lot of talent that's come out of there.
Yes. I mean, the list goes on. We'll go back to Bernie Mac. In fact, people don't know, even though he's from St. Louis, Red Fox cut his teeth. He was known as Chicago Red when he went on the circuit initially. Red Fox, so Bernie Mac, Robin Harris, Shy McBride, who does all the movies. Then you go Adele Givens, George Wilborn. The list goes on. Rodney Perry, Melanie Camacho, myself. You know, it's just D-Ray, Lil Rel, Deion Cole. You know, it goes on and on and on. You know, Cheryl Underwood, she's killing it on The View.
Oh, love Cheryl. She crushes it. Yeah, we've had her on BHL. She's the best too. She always is very supportive of us too. So I want to give her a shout out.
Much love to Cheryl.
Much love. And one thing with comedy as well is that, you know, my biggest fear with it, everyone says that you should also try stand-up at some point in your life. Everybody should. And that's always a big fear of mine because, you know, I think I'm funny when I'm with my friends, but I don't know if I'm funny with a crowd. What's been your best experience in a stand-up show? And what's been one of those moments where you were like, I probably want to erase that from my resume?
Well, I haven't had many erasers, thank God, because I mean, I've been fortunate to be in good situations and I learned in the circuit. The Chicago circuit is it's supportive, first of all, but second of all, the Chicago circuit is very challenging. So if you can make it through the Chicago audiences, because when you're funny, they will give you all the love you need. But if you're not, you're going to catch it right away. So one of the greatest experiences and one of my proudest moments, as I mentioned, the Kings of Comedy Tour previously, of course, the show went to Madison Square Garden and we played, that's the world's most famous arena, they say. And to do that arena was beautiful. But to bring that tour after that back home to the United Center and be on stage with those giants of comedy in the same lane, you know, with the same type of suits and the same amount of laughter, that was been one of the highlights of my career for sure. I also had a chance to host the Showtime at the Apollo for 4 episodes. And
that's huge.
Yeah, right after Steve Harvey, they were looking for the new host and they narrowed it down. They did a countrywide. They went all across the country and narrowed it down to 3 guys, me, Teddy Carpenter, who's a funny brother out of DC, and Rudy Rush, who they eventually gave the show to. So those are some of the highlights, you know, looking back. And now the time I spent on the Tom Joyner Morning Show touching, you know, 6 to 8 million listeners, you know, people looking forward to coming on every week to my features, Seriously Good News, and the Friday, I finally got the whole Friday to myself. It was Damon Williams Fridays. These have been some of the greatest. I think back to the craziest moment in my career ever. I used to host a show in the suburb of Chicago at a place called the TNT Comedy Hook. And a dude from Gary, Indiana, out of nowhere for no reason, at the top of the show, as I'm brought on stage, welcome your host, Damon Williams. The crowd is rolling, places to be packed out, lying out the door, you couldn't get in. And the dude just walked toward the stage, and I didn't know what he had on his mind, but he just rushed me, and we fought on stage. So
he said no words. He just rushed you.
He ain't say. Can we curse on here? Can we curse on here?
Yeah.
He ain't say shit. He just walked up and tried to butt rush me, and I saw him coming. I saw the look in his eyes. You know, I'm from the shot, so I was on my square. I'm like, dude, you come up here, it's gonna be a problem, because he was just approaching me. And when he came, you know, at first I tried to hit him with the mic. And then we tussled like it was 3 little steps. We tussled down those 3 steps and we fell and we crashed through and made a hole in the drywall. Then security and my younger brother came up. They stumped him out and carried him out. It was crazy. Wow. And so I got up from that. I brushed the little plaster off my little clothes and I said my little slogan, let's start the show. And the people went bananas.
So you never found out why he rushed you?
That's all I can come up with. But you know, I used to roast Gary a little bit when the Gary people came, because I used to do shows in Gary also, and maybe they sent them up there because I know at one point I had roasted some guys and they left because they was thugs, they were real gangsters, and they was like, gangsters don't play that joking on them, so they just left, out of respect. They left out, but somebody heard them on walking out and said, man, what you say to them dudes? And they said, next time they see you, you better not come to Gary no more, blah, 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 blah. They're gonna be on your head. So I didn't go to Gary for a long time after that.
I don't blame you, bro.
I wouldn't either.
But I ended up going back, and we had the hottest show in the Midwest on First Friday. So, it was G.I. Love. So I don't know if they sent them at me or whatever, but I do remember that he had on this big fat dookie rope, like one of them chains. It was like a fat ass herringbone or something. And his chain broke. And he's like, as they was carrying him out by all fours, he was like, get my chain. That's a $5,000 chain. Should have never said that.
No. Wrong words.
That chain vanished. That chain vanished. He never saw that chain again.
Yeah. And I understand why.
Exactly. Oh
now, you mentioned slogan, and I know that you have a motto, don't stop, don't quit. What does that actually mean for you?
Well, it came about because I have this chant where I go, and the people go, ooh, ooh, and I say, and you don't stop, and you don't quit. And that was like a motto, because in this business, in any goal you're seeking, it's a marathon. It's not going to happen right away unless you're really super fortunate, or, the stars line up in your favor. So you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have pitfalls. You're going to have times when things don't go as you plan, but you can't stop and you can't quit, because that's the only way you're going to achieve the goal. So I used to tell people all the time, and when I did, speeches at schools and talk to kids, I always said, don't stop, don't quit. You find your passion, something that drives you, something you're meant to do. It's not going to happen for you right away, but if you don't stop and don't quit, you'll get there. But if you do stop, you never will. So don't stop, don't quit became my motto.
I love that. And also, I got the ditty, don't stop, don't quit in my head too. You know what I mean? So you got me Genuine, Diddy. I'm all over the place musically today.
I'm very musical. I'm very musical, brother.
Well, we're going to wrap up because go ahead.
If y'all don't know, we were right in the middle. That's why I was late. And I apologize to you guys and your viewers, because I do a happy hour from your time, 3 to 5 every day. And we play just good grown music. And we were right in the middle of happy hour. So my wife came and said, you're supposed to be on interview. I'm like, no, it says 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Like, no, it's right now, and you need to shut it down. So my happy hour people came over to Facebook to watch this. Shouts out. I see you, Brad. I see everybody just looking. And then we're going to go back to the happy hour. It's on my Instagram and simultaneously on Facebook. My Instagram is Damon Williams Comedy.
Damon Williams Comedy. Well, we look forward to when the show finally airs. We look forward to seeing it live tonight.
We'll be laughing.
UrbanFlix.com.
It is worth the wait. It's worth the wait. Trust me.
And then what's the first thing that you're going to be doing when all of this craziness with the quarantine and lockdown and everything's back to normal is over? What are you going to be doing? What's the first thing?
What I'm looking forward to first, that's a good question. The first thing I really would like to do, because I've been playing music and such, is go see some live music. I mean, of course, I'm going to go and perform, but I would love to go to an atmosphere where there's a live band. I don't care if it's no name or if it's a major concert, and be in a communal experience with a bunch of people enjoying music all at once as a vibe, because music is in my soul. I mean, if I could have been, I used to rap and I play a little bit of bass, but it didn't take off quick enough. I did stop, but I did quit.
That's all right. It led you to a new path. It's all good.
Right.
It where you were supposed to be.
Right.
Exactly. But I want to go see some live music. Indeed.
I feel that. Well, if people want to check out your social media and see when the show actually starts, or just check out your playlist and everything else you got going on, where can they find you?
Everything is Damon Williams Comedy. Go to DamonWilliamsComedy.com. That's the site. It has links to all of my social media, but all my social media is also Damon Williams Comedy, except Twitter, which is at Damon William, because somebody already had Damon Williams, and Damon Williams Comedy was too late. And dude, wherever he is, he ain't even using it. He needs to give me my S back. Because
I feel that.
I had to drop my S because this dude out here, he probably ain't even tweeting no more. In fact, I should check and see if he's still using it. You been through it too, sis?
I am. All my names were taken. Courtney Stewart is everywhere, apparently.
And the crazy part about it, our names are taken on social media, but you never had your name in a souvenir store. You ain't never been on a mug. You ain't never been nowhere else. But now,
Exactly.
right now, you can't use your name. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, see, I don't have those problems. My name, I'm like the only one. Derrial Christon. I'm the only one. So,
Yeah, you
so
say.
far. I'm good.
You say,
my parents got creative, so I'm good. Courtney, where can fans find you?
For that reason, you can find me everywhere at Stewart Starlet.
What is it?
It's Stewart Starlet.
Okay, yeah, because it kind of bleeped. I want to make sure people heard it. Stewart Starlet is who she is. Facebook. Go find Stewart Starlet.
Find Stewart Starlet, and I'm at Derrial Christon. Derrial Christon.
How you spelling Derrial?
Oh boy, here we go. Derrial, and my last name is Christon.
Your mama didn't want you to be no Derrial, huh?
No Derrial. No Derrial.
No Derrial.
The school teachers tried to call me that, but no Derrial. No Derrial.
That's what's up, man.
That's what's up. But Damon, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I can't wait to watch Laugh Tonight. I'm already laughing now, so I can imagine what I'm gonna be like when I'm watching your show. So
count on it. It's
looking
hilarious.
forward to it.
I'm so proud of the comedians, man. They all stepped up and killed it. I got a lot of cats that it's their first time ever doing any type of major production like that. Like my brother from Chicago named Mike Samp, another brother named Kendall Ferguson. This is their first shot. The young lady Jasmine I mentioned, who is very funny on her social media, and she spells it with a Z. It's a tricky Jasmine and an underscore, so I can't even put y'all up on it. But look on my page. If there's a commercial from the show that's running, she actually commented. She said, "So dope." Look little Jasmine up too, and all the people on the show and everybody that's watching your show. Y'all keep doing what you're doing till we get out of this pandemic, this plandemic, this scam-demic. Keep safe and keep doing your thing virtual.
Yeah, we'll get you in the studio once things are back to normal.
Looking forward to it.
Out in LA, and congratulations, right. And we look forward to talking to you again soon, man.
Y'all come on to happy hour.
I'm gonna check out your playlist. On your.
Come on to happy hour. We about to get it in. We about to get it in right now.
Happy hour.
All right.
I'm all about a happy hour, so
because nobody should drink alone.
Ever.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ever. I like that. You got the Game of Thrones cup
yes,
right
sir.
there.
It's my chalice, baby. In Chicago,
your chalice.
This is what they do. You understand me? See the little personalization. I see y'all.
All right, Damon.
All right, going back to happy hour. All right, Mr. Starlet.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.